Guys, DG, I'm back again. Now, my regular viewers, I've said this very same point before. At the start of this season, I said it's wonderful that we have great, I say it lightly, good attacking options or good competition in midfield and up front spaces, and every player has different strengths that could be utilised over the season. There could be games we need, for instance, on the flanks we could do with Mkhitaryan and his creativity. We know he drifts inside a lot. Other games, for instance, Welbs could be to put him on because he gives us a bit defensively. If there's games where it's going to be a bit cagey and not really a lot of space, Lacazette might play through the middle and Aubameyang off the left, try and take advantage of the space. Equally, if it's a game where it's pacing behind and we want the centre halves to not really be able to mark someone, you're gonna swap Lacazette possibly and Aubameyang. So different strengths collectively throughout the side. But I said before, Ramsey, Mesut Ozil, I actually said Granit Xhaka, but he's irrelevant to this. Basically, and Mkhitaryan, he's irrelevant, but add him in. When we've got so many of these players, we're kind of someone is getting shoehorned, and people always getting shoehorned. And I want us to be a bit more solid in terms of defense, and it's lovely that we try and shoehorn people because there's games where that's needed. But more often than not, somebody needs to miss out, and I'm not too sure if Unai Emery is ready to admit that to himself. To be fair, just because I say this, we know any team that's going to have Mkhitaryan didn't start, but Ozil, Ramsey, Xhaka, the strengths are going to be on the ball. The strengths are going to be going forward. Defensively, we leave a lot. But I look at Aubameyang, I look at Mesut Ozil, and I look at Ramsey. Three players you could argue are vital to Unai Emery's side on the basis that Ozil's Ozil, Aubameyang's Aubameyang, and he's talked up Ramsey when he joined the club. But all three are equally not playing in their positions. Yes, obviously when the game's being played, they're finding their favourite areas and stuff where they like to operate. But Aubameyang is starting on the left. Ramsey's starting in midfield, but he's playing a bit more higher, which I can't understand because surely someone like Ramsey should be better in a free role, knowing when he can drop deep, the runs in behind and stuff like that. But either way, it's not his actual centre mid role. And then obviously you've got Mesut Ozil and Mkhitaryan. They're always utilised on the flanks. Surely something's got to give soon. Surely someone's got to get dropped. I don't know if a big reason as to why Ramsey is playing is because of the contract stuff. Because Ramsey's started off okay. He hasn't been he's been underwhelming, but it hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been amazing. He's just game after game, it's been okay, and that's not really what you want because there's people like Guendouzi who temporarily lost his space out the side, and there's El Nene, regardless of what you think of his ability, that could get games. There's competition in it. So if you're not doing your job, you need to come out the side. That's how I believe it, anyways. Ramsey's not doing anything. He got 2 assists against Everton and we won. So not just Ramsey, a lot of the performances, specific player performances and individual performances will be swept under the carpet. We'll leave it and we'll only really analyze and provide proper dialogue when we lose a game. But Aaron Ramsey got 2 assists, 2 good as well. The second one was kind of lucky. The first one was a good ball. I won't lie to you. But really and truly, he didn't really do anything in that game. He hasn't really done anything all season. What was the game he played extremely poorly and was dropped for the other game. I like Ramsey. I want Ramsey to stay, but I'm not a fan of the demands allegedly being held. And I just don't think he's as vital. He's not a world-class player. Go somewhere else and be good. He can be vital for us, which he's shown, but I don't think he's a player that you really should be allowing your club to be held to ransom by. I'm not saying Ramsey's doing that and his demands are outrageous, but fan point of view, we see a man whose contract is coming out, is running out soon in a couple of months in September. In January, he'd be allowed to talk to foreign clubs for free, and he's been here since 17. He's 27. He's been vital to us winning 3 FA Cups, scoring in 2 of them. He really should be vital, but he's not. But am I being fair to him? Because he had a good year last year, even with the injuries and stuff like that. And since the start of 2018, in the Premier League alone, he's provided the most assists out of everybody in our team. So the stats are saying he's being used, but for me, he doesn't. Ramsey's one of them. When it goes well, it goes well. When it goes bad, he's going to go bad. He's got techers, but the techers is very untidy. I do find him very nonchalant at times. I do find him indisciplined at times because when he's got that balance in him, like the game in the FA Cup final, when he times his runs, when to go forward, when to do the Aaron Ramsey stuff, and when to do the collective, it's great. But more often than not, we don't get that. And away from Ramsey, Mesut Ozil, he's picked up form, but he's been woeful since the season started. So if we keep it trill, he's not going to be able to do his best football off the flanks. Even when it's just him and Mkhitaryan on the flanks, he's shoehorning people. They both want to go inside, and it's Bellerin and Monreal consistently doubled up against. Aubameyang's doing his thing. Actually, feel even when playing through the middle, he's rarely done anything this season since it started. But in the last 2 games or so, he's picked it up. He played through the middle and scored against Newcastle. Obviously, he was more situated on the left against Everton, and I think he actually, at least in the first half, I think he was actually better than Lacazette, if I'm fair, because bar some gorgeous balls that Lacazette did and showed his range of passing, I don't feel he did much. I think Aubameyang actually showed a bit of general play and individual play that we haven't really seen from him, to be fair. But how are all going to fire to their maximum? How are all going to produce if you're essentially shoehorning, if we keep it 100? If Aubameyang excels out wide and he scores 20 goals minimum in the league from there, cool. If Ozil gets the assist from the flanks, then cool. If Ramsey picks up form with this, then cool. But that's not going to happen, is it, people? I think we're all smart enough to know that. And the games it isn't working, you're wondering. Personally, I do feel Aubameyang and Lacazette have to start, so he's away from this. But between Ozil and Ramsey, even Xhaka back into this conversation, I do think one of them could be dropped and give us a bit more compactness defensively. Now, we know Xhaka's clearly got some use and he's clearly vital to the side. I mean, Wenger and Unai can see it. He provides some sort of balance. But for me, I just feel we're trying to shoehorn too many people. Whether obviously, clearly everyone wants to play, but whether they're all consistently at Unai Emery's ear saying they want to play and he's doing exactly that, whether he genuinely believes this is the way forward, something's got to give, and sooner or later one of them's got to be dropped, because I keep saying the conversation is really, the video should really be focused around Aubameyang, Ramsey and Ozil in particular. But when you add Xhaka and Mkhitaryan into the mix, Xhaka's not playing out of position, he's playing central midfield clearly. But that comes at a pose of trying to implement 2 other midfielders in shoehorning Ramsey, and Ozil's being sacrificed out wide. He comes inside a lot. So how are we going to be protected down the flanks? Aubameyang does his thing, but essentially, I think he did a very good job defensively on Sunday as well. But he's not a winger. His strengths are not defensively. It's not like Wells sort of striker. He will let us down in the defensive sense by switching off occasionally, and there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. That's his skill strengths. Ultimately, we want him play him through the middle. We signed him to make the difference and accompany Lacazette, and it worked well when they linked up together. But surely, sooner or later, Unai Emery is going to have to drop one of these 3 out the side, to be fair with you. Personally, I'm looking at Ramsey and I'm seeing underwhelmingness. Yeah, he got 2 assists, but they were in the same game. One of them was grimy. I'm thinking, should we bring Iwobi into the side? Iwobi didn't particularly impress me when he came off the bench against Everton. He looked a bit rusty, but he was superb in the week. Surely, in Ramsey's current role right now, surely Iwobi would thrive a bit more in that. Or bringing in Guendouzi, shoring up our midfield, not even relegating is not the right word. Neglecting the strengths that Aaron brings, in the sense that if you're looking at our midfielders, whether stats back up or not, Ramsey's probably the one you're looking at to probably score the most goals out of all of them. Do we neglect that and go for Guendouzi, Torreira and Xhaka, if you can even include Xhaka in that, a bit more stability? Then you can allow Ozil to stay on the flanks possibly and just drift in, and then you could look to possibly... In fact, there's another conversation regardless for the wings, because I just said let Ozil drift inside and I just remember the left-hand side. So there is a debate. So either way, a decision has to be made about what he wants to do on the flanks, to be fair with you. But yeah, even if I just look at this, Ozil's got 2... Yeah, Ozil's been poor and he's picked up in the last 2 games. But Ozil's got 2 goals and 6 assists. Ramsey's got 2, which came against Everton. Credit where due, good performance. Aubameyang's actually got in 7 appearances 4 goals, a brace in the Europa League, and then obviously against Everton at this current moment in time. Ramsey lags behind, but Ramsey's got the most assists for our club in 2018. So I don't know what that says about other players and how have they been moving since the season started and how last year was, or if that's testament to him. But either way, something needs to be done, especially with this contract stuff that's in the background. But we'll see about that sort of stuff, man. Guys, DG, get in a comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking with me.